count three. It's in. She is on fire right now on the Grand Star Sports Network. All right, fans, we're just about set to go, it looks like. Welcome back to Truist Point. We're on the campus of High Point University, just below Greensboro, out in, we're close to the central part of the state, North Carolina. First round of the state playoffs, and it's a historic game for the Robbinsville Black Knights, who are in the postseason for the first time in 13 years, and are going to obviously try to make the best of it. To do so, they got to get through the Thomasville Bulldogs here in the opening round. Bulldogs obtained the number 9 seed in the postseason bracket and are 11-11 this year. Robbinsville was afforded the 24 seed and totes a record of 10-7 into today's game. And once again, fans, we want to thank all of you for tuning in with us, whether you are a Black Knight or a Bulldog. You're very much welcome here on GramstarSports.com. We stream 5 varsity sports for Robbinsville High School all year long and beyond. Football and volleyball carry us through the fall. Basketball is our winter selection. And in the springtime, we alternate between baseball and softball. And obviously, this is the first playoff game ever telecast on behalf of Robbinsville baseball. So top of the first is coming your way. Graylin Orr is going to step in. We're going to stay a little bit wide if we can to try and do our multitasking. Zoom in and out if we're able to here on Gramstar Sports. And the first pitch of the game is a strike as Orr swings and misses low and in. First pitch comes at 6:20 p.m. here in High Point. And that one will miss. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. And Orr, and get his timing down, 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count. Temperature of first pitch, by the way, a balmy, sticky 81 degrees. Low and away, count 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 on the way. And Orr will foul it down the right field line. It will hit the net near the corner. So got a piece of it to Mr. Orr. Shuffle through all of our notes here. Starting pitcher today for Thomasville is Travell Barnes, sophomore hurler for the Bulldogs. Two count on Graylin Orr here in the top of the first, and he will strike out swinging. Barnes totes a 5-3 record into today's game, a 2.91 earned run average, and just recorded strikeout number 55 of the season. Graylin Orr batting .339 on the year, no homers, 7 RBIs, and now stepping up another senior for the Black Knights. It is Bryce Garrison. He batted .290 this afternoon. And swinging a miss, 0-1. Pitches are coming in about 86, 87 miles an hour. Garrison is not, by the way, homered, but he has doubled twice. 9 RBIs, more importantly, has set a brand new stolen base record for a single season at Robbinsville. Currently at 25 this year. Garrison will foul that one, and it will disappear behind us here on the concourse. Long way from home, but we're glad we're able to bring this one to you either way. And Garrison lays off wisely there. Ball and 2 strikes. That one just a little bit up and outside. Another one fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes here in the top of the first. Robbinsville took the day to travel out here. Started off about 9:30 or so. leaving Graham County and arrived here at the ballpark shortly after 3 p.m. And Garrison is laying off as Barnes is having a hard time locating the zone now. Went from an 0-2 lead to a 3-2 deficit. 1 out. And Garrison swings and misses. 86-mile-an-hour pitch erases him. 2 gone. And it will bring up another senior, Ethan Orr. That'll be the last senior you'll see for a little bit here in the lineup. The 4th and final senior, Chase Calhoun for Robbinsville. Ethan Orr steps up as the hottest hitter and the starting pitcher today for the Black Knights this year. Orr has brought the heavy lumber. 421 average, 4 home runs, 24 runs driven in. We'll talk about his pitching stats in the bottom of the inning as the ball pops away. Counts 2-0 to Ethan Orr. Junior Quinn Jumper in the on-deck circle for Robbinsville. And here's the pitch. Orr drives it to center field, but it is playable. It's a long field, 400 to dead center. And it's a 1-2-3, top of the first. The Thomasville faithful pop to their feet. We'll step aside. You're watching GramstarSports.com. Fans, welcome back live from High Point, North Carolina. It's the first round of the state playoffs here on the Gramstar Sports Network. Kevin Hensley with you for this telecast of Black Knights baseball, and we are in the playoffs. Put those two things together, and it's not happened since 2011 for the Black Knights. After a very successful campaign, Robbinsville is back in the quest for a state championship. As we mentioned at the top of our broadcast, the upset of the playoffs so far, in my opinion, happened last night right here at Truist Point as Cornerstone Charter Academy plays their home games here at this facility, upset by the Leadership Academy of North Carolina, 6-3 final score. Now, here's the kicker. Leadership Academy is the 25 seed in the playoffs, and we'll wait on Ethan Orr to deliver his first pitch. It's going to be high and away. Ball 1. Robbinsville's the 24, Thomasville the 9. So, tentatively, Robbinsville picks up the W here, and Robbinsville will host in the second round, and I don't think anyone saw that coming on the bingo card. Ethan Orr, 4-4 this season, 106 ERA, and he has mowed down 78 hopefuls at the plate. He and Graylin Orr, the shortstop, have really done a fine job of toting this pitching staff. Luke Lovin, who's at third base today, has also been a go-to. Quinn Jumper has been in the mix. He's catching today. And Ethan Orr, nice way to say it, just lost control of that one as it come out of his hand. 3-1 offering, and that's a strike, low and in. Wow. I don't think anyone in the ballpark saw that coming. Count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes here in the bottom of the first. Batter to plate is Luis Morano Sosa, who strikes out. And the Robbinsville faithful to our left gives him a round of applause. Ethan Orr gets strikeout number 79 of the year. And that will bring up Michael Duncan, sophomore for the Bulldogs, batting .345 this year. No homers, 8 RBIs. First pitch is a strike. Nothing in 1 the count. We get a little deeper into the game, fans. We'll go over some playoff scores from last night because that's when about 90% of the games took place. There were a few weather postponements that got us to today. And we'll go over that as we get a little bit deeper. We do know we'll be back with you Friday for sure either way. Trying to figure out how we juggle 2 playoff games at home. That'll be a task. Fly ball to center field. Tyler Martinez loses his hat, but makes the play. 2 gone here in the bottom of the first. And Travell Barnes, the pitcher, will step up and try and do his darndest to keep the inning going. First pitch is fouled. A screamer down the right field line. Foul. 0-1 the count. I'm going to shuffle all of our papers around here. We apologize. We got stats printed. We'll tout up these athletes as much as we can on either side of the plate. Duncan awaits. 0-1. Misses down the way. 1 ball, 1 strike. Robbinsville will host Murphy in the second round of the softball playoffs on Friday. That game will begin at 5 p.m. We'll have it here on GramstarSports.com. And as we said, if, and we hope it's a great if, Robbinsville is hosting on Friday and is in the dance, of course, as Titan T gets a beat on it and will make the catch in foul territory. All right, well, both teams have set each other down in order here in the first inning. Let's see what we can do moving forward. No score as we roll into the second here on GramstarSports.com. Welcome back, fans. We are in High Point for the first round of the state playoffs. Kevin Hensley with you on behalf of GramstarSports.com. The Graham Star has been your hometown newspaper for Graham County, North Carolina since 1955. New edition just hit the streets this afternoon thanks to our handy-dandy delivery driver, Kelsey Crejon, braving the elements as a Torah Hurricane, as we say in the South, apparently hit Graham County while we were escaping it to the east. When Jumper takes one high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Jumper coming off a home run in the regular season home finale against Murphy. First ever varsity home run, and he hit that one about 2 miles high. And a sliding attempt just out of our camera view. Didn't work out. I didn't even think anybody was going to offer at it, frankly, so I didn't even bother to move the camera. My apologies. I guess that's what I get for doubting Mr. Serrano Rodriguez, third baseman today for the Thomasville Bulldogs. A lot of reminiscing before the game with some of the coaching staff that played against Robbinsville, actually, in a football playoff matchup in 1999. Thomasville traveled to Robbinsville and was sent packing. And that is strike 3. Jumper is going to take off for first, and he won't get there in time. Great bounce off this backstop. And it will be the third strikeout already of the day for Mr. Barnes. Brings up right fielder Avery Webster. Jumper just now having to move behind the plate in the last week and a half or so. The injury bug hit the backstop position. Dane Webster was injured. Tyler Martinez was the backup. He got hurt. He's out in center field today. Jumper normally mans a spot in the infield and just has stayed behind the plate ever since. Check swing, and they'll call it a strike anyhow. 1-1 is the count. Ball misses inside, 2-1. Webster batting a $180 on the year. He's doubled once and driven in 7 runs. Big cut, comes up empty. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Barnes is averaging 86, 87 miles an hour velocity on these pitches. According to our radar gun, we have one of those fancy smancy things since we're at a beautiful independent league ballpark. We said the Graham Stars covers knows no limits. We're able to see Avery Webster draw a walk 4.5 hours from home. First base runner of the day for the Black Knights. It will be first baseman Titan T. Stesky is going to try to do some damage with a runner on here in the top of the second inning. Talked about it all year. T. Stesky has been a nice addition to this lineup. First year playing varsity baseball for Robbinsville and, well, frankly, overall. And he's currently batting .254, 3 doubles on the season, and he has 10 RBIs. Pitch is outside of the batter's box. 2-0 on Titan T. Luke Levin is in the on-deck circle. And he chased one high and inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. And if you see that Atrium Health sign out in right center field on the other side of the batter's eye, wait on the 2-1 to come in first. And he'll miss it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We were set up there until about 5 o'clock when rain hit this facility as well, and we decided we'd move behind home plate, and we like our setup here a little bit better anyhow. We had a long zoom out there. It was doable, but not in this yucky rain. And the catch made over at first base. Reeled in nicely by Norman, and that will be the second out. Webster stays put. Third baseman Luke Levin will step up. Levin batting .259 on the season, 1 double, 4 RBIs. Weather's died down. It's still overcast, but still a lovely evening here in High Point. And Mitt pops. Zips in there at 84. Levin chased it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Strike is called, a ball, and 2 strikes. No score here in the top of the second. Barnes working out of the stretch. Webster's got about a 1-step lead. Strike 3 call. That one painted the outside corner. Good pitch. Barnes has already fanned 4 in this ball game. We'll go to the bottom of the inning. Still no score here in the first round of the state playoffs. Welcome back, fans, one and all, to the Grimstar Sports Network. Bottom of the second on tap and set to lead off for Thomasville is Matthew Bankhead. Bankhead's got a little bit of a fan base underneath us here, it sounds like. First pitch is a strike. 0-1. Bankhead batting .309 on the campaign, 4 doubles, 16 RBIs. And he's a junior, so he's got 1 more year to make an impact for the Bulldogs. 4 misses, 1 ball, 1 strike. Outside again. And he sends that one a country mile to left field. Chase Calhoun will not be able to get to it. And he's going to be able to run for days. He's rounding the bag, going to third. And he's in there. It is a leadoff triple for Matthew Bankhead here in the bottom of the second. Well, that's one way to get your offense started and get the first official hit of the ball game under your belt. Holy cow, he gave that one a charge. Sounded really good coming off the bat, but in a ballpark with professional specs, it's going to be hard to hit one out. It's 336 down the left field line, 339 down the right, 400 to dead center field. Two and 0 the count. Now Orr working out of the stretch. Fires a 2-0. It's going to be golfed over Bryce Garris's head and into right field. Scoring will be Bankhead. Bulldogs strike first here in the bottom of the second. Eyes are black with the RBI single. Still nobody out. And Jumper, try as he may on that frame job, did not get the call. Count is 1-0. Missed again. 2 balls, no strikes. Orr's got to keep his composure here for sure. What you play for all years to get here and play longer. And a big cut on that ball will send it. It's the concourse above us here. Might have heard the clang on your end. 2 balls, 1 strike. Batter at the plate is senior Charles Norman. He comes in with a 233 mark this year, 12 RBIs on his resume, and that pops out of Jumper's glove. Going to second is Black on the pass ball. 3 balls, 1 strike. And he lost him. Ball 4. 2 on. Still no one out. Xavier Shaw, another junior for the Bulldogs, steps in. 245 average, 3 doubles, and 5 runs driven in as Bulldogs trying to strike while the striking's good. Instead, strike 1 issued by senior Ethan Orr. A little bit of trouble here in the bottom of the second. Orr has found himself in a pickle. 2 runners on and nobody out. Ball's fouled down the right field line. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One, 2. Boy, what a beautiful breaking ball that was. Got in there and froze Shaw in his tracks. Strike 3 called. Set him down. Second strikeout of the game for Ethan Orr. First one on a call strike. Pitch misses 1-0 to Owen Kellica, another senior for the Bulldogs. 245 average this year, 2 doubles, 1 triple, 10 RBIs. Or behind 2-0 with the senior. Runners at first and second. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 1 strike. Fly ball blistered to left field, but playable. Chase Calhoun will make the play, tagging up and running to third. They might have got him if it had not been for the relay cut off by Graylin Orr, but that's ABC baseball. Get him on and move him over. And that'll move them up 90 feet each. 2 gone now, but both are in score position. Count 1-0. This is inside, 2-0, low and inside to Mavante Scott. Batting a $160 this year for the Bulldogs. One in already here in the bottom of the second. First run of the game scored for either side. And he takes ball 4. And a jog up the line. And is chocked full of Bulldogs around the base path. And Sosa steps up after striking out in the bottom of the first. He comes up with the bases loaded and 2 gone in the bottom of the second. Also finished 3rd in the Central Carolina 1A, 2A split conference this season. We mentioned 11 on 11 coming into tonight's game. They were 8-5 in conference play. Ball fouled off, 1-1 the count here on Gramstar Sports. Just missed. I'm talking right below the shins. 2 balls, 1 strike. And that one will find the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good pitch by Orr. Trying to escape a jam here, to say the very least, with minimal damage. Orr, such a great young man to have on your team. And it's reasons like that right there. Strikeout number 3, and he gets out of it with 2 hits surrendered. 1 run in, 2 walks. 3 left on. Top of the third is around the corner. Thomasville has struck first here on the Gramstar Sports Network. Welcome back, everyone, to High Point. It's the first round of the state playoffs, and it's a 1-0 Thomasville lead. You're watching us here on the exclusive home for Knights Athletics all year round, the Gramstar Sports Network. Imitators need not apply, and if they try, please let us know. First pitch to senior Chase Calhoun is chopped into the hole. That's going to be a tough play, and it is a major overthrow ball. Calhoun will scramble for second, and he slides over the base and is out. Well, fans, there is no dirt on the infield. What can you do? He did what you're supposed to do. He slid to the base, but overslid because of the artificial surface, and it is slick, to say the very least. So it is an error, and he is thrown out 3-6. Well, what a series of events there to begin the top of the third inning. Here's center fielder Tyler Martinez. Martinez batting $185. He's got 1 RBI this season. Pitch bounces away and off the backstop. 2-0 the count. Huge cut by Martinez. Comes up empty, 2 balls and 1 strike. And strike zone seems to be growing a little bit. I don't want that. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Martinez makes contact, pops it up a country mile, as we say in Graham County. And the catch is made. 2 gone. Bankhead on the snag. And we'll go back to the top of the card. Here's Graylin Orr. Orr struck out to begin the ball game. Obviously does not want to replicate that turn of events again. He'll get a piece of that down the first base line, and the play made on the go. Nicely done by Norman. 3 up, 3 down, and is quickly erased as the shadows overtake us. We'll step aside for just a moment. 1-0 Bulldogs here on GramstarSports.com. Welcome back, fans. You're watching GramstarSports.com. A lot of you seem to be tuning in with us here in the bottom of the third. Welcome. Once again, we are streaming Robbinsville, Thomasville. First round playoff baseball action coming your way from High Point University this afternoon. 2, 3, 4 holes due up for the Bulldogs here in the bottom of the third. And Duncan will be leading off after flying out in his first attempt. One count. Ethan Orr back out for inning number trace of work. There's the pitch. And it's raked. Clean hit. Will go into left field, and that's how things start for Thomasville. They get a runner to begin things. And here's the starting pitcher. Try to help us on cause. He popped out to Titan Tisateski his last time up. And they may have him. They're going to fire down to second, but the ball does not get in Orr's glove. Instead, it goes into shallow left field. So they try to pick off. Orr's got a great pickoff move. And might have had a chance to flag him down there 1-3 to 6, but no dice. Is that a bad throw? Without an error, and they will, on Titan Tisateski. Runner in score position now, nobody out. And that's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Or checks the runner low and inside. Jumper was watching him all the way. Counts 2-1. Slice down the right field line foul. It'll land in the quote-unquote bullpen area. Bullpens are set up here kind of like AT&T Field in San Francisco. They're just down in the foul territory area. They're not really blocked off per se. High chop to Graylin Orr. How to move the runner over. Titan Tisateski digs it out. And that'll be a sacrifice. 6-3, 1 gone. Now here in the bottom of the third. And here's Bankhead, who set the crowd into a frenzy to begin the bottom of the second with a triple. And no surprise, he scored moments later. Strike catches the outside part of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Try to get a little more creative with our camera work now that we're settled in, so to speak, as we go along. And a big cut on the outside part of the plate. Well, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Or fires. It's in the dirt, but it's stopped. Well, it's in the grass, I should say, the turf. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This is a prime example of why you wear cleats, fans. Bankhead got a piece of it. Still going. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And he'll mow him down. Ethan Orr hanging tough. Good to see that here in this slim ball game. That is strikeout number 4 on the day for Eeyore. And Serrano Rodriguez gets a piece of it. On 1 count. Runner still at third. Slice back to the net. There is a net behind, but thank goodness for trick photography, I guess. Trick videography. There you go. Can't really see it on our screen. Probably could if we zoomed in a little bit. And again, we want to stay wide and make sure we can see what we can. Don't want to miss anything this afternoon. Strike 3 called. Orr gets out of a jam again. Runner at third is stranded. We'll go to the 4th. It's still 1-0 Thomasville. You're watching the Graham Star Sports Network. Stay with us, fans. Welcome back, everyone, to High Point. Kevin Henson with you here on GramstarSports.com. You're getting a live look inside the Robbinsville dugout as they mill around and enjoy this experience this afternoon here at High Point University. The Knights are in the visitor dugout, appropriately enough, on the third base line. Thomasville to our right in the first base dugout. You see Ethan Orr coming out of the steps, Bryce Garrison. There to chat with him as well. It'll be Garrison, Orr, and Jumper due up for the Black Knights as we head into the top of the fourth. Fans, we are so glad you've joined us this afternoon. Glad we were able to bring this game to you. We thought we were going to be at a different field. We thought we were going to be playing a little bit earlier, and, well, we stuck it out. We got through all the mishmash, and here we are now. Garrison struck out in his only plate appearance thus far. And he's not going to do that this time. He'll pop it up high over the shortstop. It'll be called off in left field, and a play made. One pitch, one out here in the top of the fourth. Orr flew out to center in his only plate appearance thus far. Robbinsville still seeking his first hit of the ball game. Thomasville, meanwhile, has 3. Battle of the Villes taking place this afternoon. Huge cut. Comes up empty. Quick 0-2 deficit. And he slices it right off the back of the net. Still alive. And I think that one stung him just a little bit. He's going to step out and gather his bearings, so to speak. Did a lot of research this year trying to find out the last time Robbinsville won a conference championship. We asked around, we dug through our archives at the Gram Star, and lo and behold, it's never happened. So Black Knights were on the chase for that until they ran into Hayesville in the penultimate series of the year. 1-2 to Orr. He swung kind of defensively at that one. I think it fooled him. And he sat down. 2 gone for Quinn Jumper. Jumper also struck out in his first plate appearance. 5 strikeouts today for Barnes. We did say we would go over some of the scores that have taken place already here in the first round. This is more or less your makeup day. And what we got going on this afternoon, in addition to this, Hiawassee Dam is in Huntersville at Christ the King. Baseball game going on this evening. Andrews is playing a softball game at East Wilkes. That is the 31-seeded Lady Wildcats taking on the 2-seeded Cardinals. And there are no score updates from that. We'll go over final scores when we get a moment to catch our breath in this inning or maybe in the bottom part of it. Strike 3 called, and that's what we'll do. We'll step aside. Bottom of the fourth, despite our scoreboard lagging on us for a moment, is just around the corner. It's 1-0 in favor of the Thomasville Bulldogs. Stay with us, fans. Charles Norman will lead off for Thomasville here in the bottom of the fourth. You never had more slips of that today with the Villes getting all mixed up. And swing and a miss, 0-1. He walked in his only plate appearance so far today, so he got the plate appearance and didn't get an at-bat yet. Eeyore back out for inning number 4 of work. His mom and dad both here with us this afternoon. Kind of joked with Danny before the game, asked him who was going to buy my game if he was here, because he's been one of our most faithful subscribers this year. He's tuned in frequently. He travels for work, and that's one of the reasons we do what we do, fans, here at Gramstar Sports. If you can't be at the game, we're there for you. Well, we try to be anyway. Sometimes can't be 2 places at once. As we mentioned earlier, that Friday conundrum could rear its ugly head. Norman gets a piece of that and fouls it in front of the Robbinsville dugout. It's 1-2 strikes. Let's go back to yesterday, fans, and run through some quick playoff results. I'm going to go top to bottom on what I got on my screen thanks to our dear sweet friends at Max Preps, as Norman strikes out and Orr looking sharp here to begin the bottom of the fourth. Xavier Shaw will step up. He struck out looking in his only plate appearance thus far. Union Academy defeated Cherokee 5-2 yesterday in varsity softball action. I eliminated the Lady Braves, and of course I'm going to go through conference teams here. I guess I should have qualified that. Not the entire state, good Lord, I never get done with that. Hayesville Baseball defeated Bethany Community School 11-5. And of course, we're the conference champions and have advanced. And what has got to be the biggest head scratcher as far as geography goes, Hiawassee Dam softball traveled to Eastern Randolph, which is still about an hour away from where we're at tonight. And Hiawassee Dam, of course, happened to come from the westernmost school in this state. Lost 10-0 to the Lady Wildcats yesterday afternoon into their season. And it'll be strike three as Titan T taps the bag on the drop third strike. Back-to-back strikeouts to begin the bottom of the fourth. Elsewhere on the gamut yesterday, South Stanley defeating Hayesville 15-0 in softball. Union Academy fan the Murphy Bulldogs. Make sure we qualify that as Murphy. 11-0 was the final there. Murphy softball edged Greystone Day 2-0. And, of course, that'll be Robbinsville Murphy round 3 coming up on Friday at Judy Nichols Memorial Field. Lady Knights, as we already mentioned, defeated Corvon Community to get there 15-0 in 3 innings. Swain County had a pair of exciting conclusions yesterday evening. The softball team won 4-3, but it took 9 innings to do so. Don't know if I've seen too many 9-inning games in my life. I've seen 8-inning softball games. Don't know about 9. It's not a common occurrence. Or misses outside. And, of course, in the nightcap last night in Bryson City, Swain County prevailed 4-3 in walk-off fashion over North Stokes. Held the lead going into the top of the 7th. Stokes pulled ahead, and Swain County said nay, nay. They finished second in the conference this year and will play on. We'll try to go to the brackets here as soon as we can and let you know who's paired up with who. Low and inside, and counts now 2 balls, 2 strikes to Calicut, who flew out to left field to move a runner up in his last appearance. Now he walks, so he's still not gotten it bat today. But he's got 2 times at the plate. And Mavante Scott will step up now. Base runner with 2 outs or back in the stretch. And gets him to chase one down and in. Breaking ball coming in at 77. I haven't talked enough about Ethan's speeds today. My apologies. We'll do our best to stay neutral, but we are, of course, the Robbinsville streaming service. There's not many of us around as far as streaming services go. And little birdie told me we're getting some calls to try and find out what our model is, because it's working, I'm promising you. And we're having a blast bringing it to you. You get to see plays like that from 4.5 hours away. How about Quinn Jumper gunning down the runner at second base, caught stealing 2-4. We'll step aside as we head to the 5th. It's 1-0 still in favor of the Bulldogs. Stay with us here on GramstarSports.com. Top of the 5th as we're back live from High Point University. First pitch to Avery Webster is going to be in foul territory. And the catch will be made. Another 1 pitch, 1 out to begin things for Robbinsville's offense. Here in the 5th. It summons Titan Teesteski to the plate. Teesteski popped out to the first baseman as well in his only at bat thus far. Robbinsville's still trying to break into the hit column. Foul ball goes down the outfield line. Foul. That won't get the job done. Straighten that out a little bit there, big dog. discussing things earlier, of course, about the first-round playoff scores thus far. There's still a couple of games to shake out today in addition to this one before we get everything sorted out for the second round on Friday. Teskey in a 1-2 hole, and he'll step out to gather his bearings. So here's what we got penciled in thus far. Swain County will host Drawn in the second round. On the baseball diamond, strike three call. Titan T will take off and knows he's not going to get there, so succeeds it. He got a late start out of the box. And I strike three. Here's Luke Lovin. Seven strikeouts today for Barnes in this ball game. Softball action, Swain County will travel to the 1 seed Uwharrie Charter Academy on Friday. Hayesville is going to head to Mountain Heritage in baseball action. 2 versus the 7 seed there. And as we already mentioned, Murphy Robbinsville. And we're not sure what's going to happen from that point on. A lot of that depends on how the rest of the night shakes out. 1-2 count, 2 outs quickly on the board as Barnes amid a no-no at the moment. The catcher comes out to chat things over with him. Thomasville's had just one base runner today, and it was a walk drew by Avery Webster in the top of the second. I almost had Chase Calhoun on, but he slid a little too aggressively on this turf field to begin the top of the third and was tagged out as a result. Count 2-2. Outside corner, got him. And we'll go to the bottom of the fifth. Still 1-0 in favor of the Bulldogs. Stay with us here on GramstarSports.com. Welcome back, fans, for the bottom of the fifth here on GramstarSports.com. Still a 1-0 duel at the moment. Only blemish came in the bottom of the second. It was an RBI single for Mr. Black, who we'll see, I'm sure, in this inning. Scott is at the plate leading off now. He drew a walk his only time up, I beg your pardon. We saw Black in the last inning, so he'll come back around, I'm sure. Shadows playing some mind games. The left field and almost all of right field positions are currently blanketed in the shadows. Tyler Martinez is having to squint through the sun. And if he didn't see it, that's a strikeout for Ethan Orr. And back to the top of the lineup card is Luis Sosa. Stepping in, he has struck out today. And not once but twice. That's all he's done for Thomasville. 3 hits and an error on a pickoff attempt. Otherwise, Robbinsville has looked sharp as attack here in the first round. Ethan Orr is just needing some run support, really. He's pretty locked in at the moment. Chops that one foul, does Mr. Sosa. 0-2 the count. Orr came into this game with a 1.04 earned run average and 78 strikeouts on the season. He's got 8 strikeouts today against the Bulldogs. Quick conference with Quinn Jumper and Ethan Orr. The battery discussing things, trying to get signals down or something, I'm sure. Oh-2. Hit to Bryce Garrison at second. Throw to first. And they'll get him. Scoops it out of the dirt. 4-3 ground out. And that's out number 2 as we roll along here on GramstarSports.com. Rounding out our second season of telecasting Robbinsville Athletics exclusively. The first year we undertook this endeavor was at the height of the COVID pandemic. It's what really got us into live streaming to begin with. We took over live streaming sports for Robbinsville when sports were allowed to begin back here in North Carolina after an 8-month hiatus. We missed volleyball season that year, but we were back live in time for basketball. And we have really enjoyed bringing it to you ever since. And another hit for the Bulldogs. That's just the fourth hit today in this ball game. And that is Duncan getting on with a 2-out single here in the bottom of the fifth. That's his second hit of the day. And here's the man that is keeping Robbinsville at bay, Travell Barnes. He also has 8 strikeouts this afternoon, does Mr. Barnes, for the Bulldogs. He's only issued 1 walk, and otherwise is doing pretty well at the moment. No hits to be told. Still 2 innings of baseball at least open for Robbinsville. Ethan Orr grinning out at the mound. Throw to second. And he overslid the bag and made the same mistake Chase Calhoun did in the top of the third. This slick surface will get you every time. We'll go to the 6th, fans, here on GramstarSports.com. Stay with us. Top of the 6th. We're going to drop back in from this beautiful sunset. Chase Calhoun at the plate. Strike 1 called. Welcome back, fans, to High Point University. You're in no need to adjust your sets. We are here for high school baseball. It's the first round of the state playoffs. It's Robbinsville and Thomasville duking it out on a Wednesday night here on the campus of High Point University at Truist Point. And at the moment, it's all Thomasville, but just barely. It's a 1-0 deficit for Robbinsville. Still a lot of time to make something happen, but roundouts to first base are not the way to get things rolling. Chase Calhoun set down to begin the top of the inning. Knights, of course, very excited to be back in the playoffs and get that monkey off their back, so to speak. It was the longest playoff drought for any program at Robbinsville until now. We've hit the reset button, and the standard will have to be reset. And Martinez drives that one to center field, but it is snagged. Great play in the sun out there. My goodness, I don't know how you saw that ball. 2 outs. And Graylin Orr, senior for Robbinsville, if fortunes do not change, this could be Graylin's final career at bat. And he's been a fine young man to cover. Maybe in Calhoun's as well to start off the inning. Well, if you fans can see everything down here on the field, it's a little dark at the moment. As we said, we're shaded here in the 6th inning. Knights have got to get some offense going quick. And with 2 outs at the top of the lineup, time is running out. And strike 3 will be called. It's dropped, but he tags him. Onward we go. We'll go to the bottom of the inning. Still 1-0 here on the Gramstar Sports Network. Pitcher versus pitcher to begin things here in the bottom of the 6th. Ethan Orr back out for his 6th inning of work. He's got 8 strikeouts on the afternoon. And the first pitch is going to be fouled off the top of the plate. 0-1 the count. Said aside from that shaky second inning, it's been pretty steady work for Ethan Orr, and even at that, he escaped with just 1 run on the board. But unfortunately, Robbinsville just can't get things going in this ball game. Barnes has done a fine job of changing things up at the plate, painting the corners. 9 strikeouts. He hit that one into the sky. Avery Webster erases him with a pop out, or fly out, I should say, to begin this portion of the inning. Sad to say that the Knights are down to their last 3 outs. I was hoping to be riding home on the activity bus with some joyous young men. I don't know that we're going to get that mood after this game, but maybe so. One of the funnest years of baseball I've ever covered anywhere, and I've covered a lot of teams over the years. Shame to say how many. Shows my age. This team has been nothing but aces to be around. Luke Lovin fields it, throws it across the horn to Titan Tisateski, and that's 2 outs. Brian Serrato in the batter's box now. His last time up, he struck out. Grounded to Bryce Garrison. Hard throw to first is going to make it in time. And Robbinsville has 3 outs to get on the board, or the magical season comes to an end. We'll be right back, fans, on GramstarSports.com. Bryce Garrison announced to begin the top of the 7th here on GramstarSports.com. Robbinsville's last 3 outs await us. And we hope it's not the last 3 outs of the season. Garrison, another senior that may be taking his final hacks in a uniform. Pitch is up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. One thing the Bulldogs do not need to do is put Garrison on. He can flat out fly if he's on the base path. And they're flirting with that. 2-1 the count here in the 7th. Garrison swings, sends that one out of the ballpark. 2-2 the count. Hope you've enjoyed our presentation today here at High Point University. Once again, I want to thank the staff and crew for being so accommodating, letting us come in here and set up shop. Bulldogs have been nothing but hospitable from the word go in this first round playoff matchup. But we're not done with season 2 of Gramstar Sports, as we're calling it. We said we got Friday softball on tap and maybe more. Hopefully more. Lady Knights 21-2 at the moment, and handily defeated Murphy in the regular season. 11-2 and 12-6 were the final scores of those 2 games. Garrison is called out on strike 3. That's 10 strikeouts today for Barnes. And he's 2 outs away from a major milestone of his own here in the first round of the playoffs. Or up. He has flown out today. I'm trying to see what else he's done. I'm sorry about that. Struck out. And that time he's going to hit it to left field in his perhaps final at bat as well. And it's snagged. 2 gone. It's all on the shoulders of Quinn Jumper, who's still a great kid despite the fact that he walked out to Funky Town last week during our final home game of the regular season. I'm only dissing it because I can't get it out of my head now. Thanks a lot, Quinn. We'll go live about 4:45 on Friday, fans, by the way. 5 p.m. first pitch at Judy Nichols Memorial Field. We'll set up Pay-per-view access for that tomorrow. 1-0 count to Quinn Jumper. Barnes has been aces today. That one coming in at 84. He's stayed in the mid-80s about all afternoon. A couple have hit 87. Counts 2-0. And Jumper can't get the timing down there. 2 balls, 1 strike. He was swinging for the Berkeley key rest sign out in deep center field. And it drops. And he does not get the call despite the lengthy snag of the glove. 3 balls, 1 strike. Barnes has only issued 1 walk today. That was to Avery Webster in the 2nd inning. And over his head, that's his 2nd walk. Well, onward we go. Season continues for the Black Knights. Jumper draws a 2-out walk. And here comes Mr. Webster. Only the 2nd base runner of the day for Robbinsville, for that matter. As we mentioned, Chase Calhoun reached on an error to begin the 3rd inning and tried to scamper to 2nd and overslid the base and was tagged out. That's happened twice now, however, to Thomasville as well, both on caught stealings. And the season is down to its last strike. Webster in an 0-2 hole. I'm sure he'll be hacking here. Jumper leads off. And Webster gets a hold of it, grounds it to the shortstop. He'll drop it off to 2nd base. And it is preserved. How about Travell Barnes throwing a no-no here in the 1st round of the state playoffs? Big accomplishment for that young man. 10 strikeouts, 2 walks, 1 error, and that's all that blemished against the Bulldogs here in the 1st round. And celebration time, we'll turn it over here to the other side of the plate, where it is sadly the end of the road. Robbinsville has broken the playoff curse. They broke it through to the top of the conference rankings, and the standard has been reset for Black Knights baseball after this super fun season here for the Black Knights. Robbinsville ends its campaign 10-8. Thomasville now 12-11. And the Bulldogs will not have to travel far to host the North Carolina Leadership Academy in the 2nd round of the state playoffs on Friday. It's kind of a bittersweet ending. You know, these players obviously wanted more of this today. Came out here with high hopes, and quite frankly, fans didn't play a bad game. Barnes was just locked and loaded. And when you got a pitcher that can paint the corners like that and mix up his locations, and quite frankly, we've not seen a lot of that this year, it's hard to get on base. You saw we had 2 base runners all afternoon, both on walks. And Thomasville only had 4 hits in the ballgame. Ethan Orr pitched a beauty of his own, struck out 9 Bulldogs this afternoon, and you see the caucus just outside the 3rd base area. I know the fans here have seen a great ball game, and I know these boys have nothing to hang their head over after this journey to the playoffs. Fans, it's been a fun one. We've had a blast bringing you Black Knights baseball all season long here on the Grimstar Sports Network. Been nothing but aces from the word go, and we've been very privileged. Hey, it brought us to an independent ballpark for a playoff game. Probably the first one. Well, I won't say probably. It was the first one ever streamed on behalf of Robbinsville Baseball. My honor to do it. My honor to cover these boys, cover this program here at Robbinsville. And we'll press on. Congratulations to the Black Knights on a great season. 10-8 is where they'll end it. And we'll say adieu to a wonderful class of seniors, Graylin Orr, Ethan Orr, Bryce Garrison, and Chase Calhoun. Hey, fans, we'll be back with you Friday. Join us, as we've already mentioned, for a 5 p.m. first pitch at Judy Nichols Memorial Field. The Lady Knights are still in the mix. They have the 4 seed. They're welcoming Murphy, the 13 seed, in the second round of the state playoffs. Until then, this is Kevin Hensley wishing all of you a great rest of your Wednesday. Your final score, a slim trim 1-0 in favor of Thomasville. Time of the game, just 1 hour and 22 minutes. Three. It's in. She is on fire right now on the Grand Star Sports Network.